Marlo says, if I maxed out my tax sheltered accounts, is it okay to buy MicroStrategy with a regular brokerage? Another great question. So yes, absolutely. Like that's the thing that we also need to shift away from, that kind of mentality where like, okay, well, if I'm going to have to pay tax on this, then I'm not going to bother with it. If this thing goes up 200x in the next 4 years and I have to pay a bunch of tax on that, is it even worth doing? Well, what's the alternative? Because you think if it goes 200x and you pay, let's say, so what would that be? Let's say even 10x. So a share today in MicroStrategy is $400. Say a 10x is with the price of Bitcoin. What's that? 4,000 per share. So you're going to have a tax owing on there. If it's not a tax sheltered account, you're going to have tax owing of about $2,500. No, it'd be more than that. I don't know. I'm not going to do math here on the live show. Actually, you know what? We'll do it. We'll do it just for the sake of doing it. So let's bring this up. Let's take a look at which option's better. Okay, so we go option 1. Buy MicroStrategy in non-tax sheltered account. Okay, so the price today is 400. And when you dispose of some, future price, let's say it's 4,000, so a 10x, right? So let's just say that you owned one, let's just keep it very simple here. You owned one share of MicroStrategy. So your total gain there is $3,600. That's your capital gain. And you pay, in Canada here, you'd pay 66% of that at your tax rate. So let's say 30%. So you owe $712 worth of tax. So your gain was $3,600. Your tax was $712, and your net gain is about $2,800. So you're up. You're up $2,887. That's your net gain. You're up. You won. You made a successful trade. The flip side of that is like you earn 8% in the stock market. You pay tax on same amount. Your net gain. The point here that you need to focus on here is the net gain. I know people hate paying tax, but if you're paying tax, that means you're ahead. And way too many people avoid like things like that because they're afraid that they're going to have to pay tax on it. But if you just break it down objectively and say, okay, if I invest in this and I have to pay tax on it, I'm still going to be much further ahead than if I don't, and I don't have to pay tax on it. It seems like very obvious, but most people's brains are wired to avoid any time they have to pay tax on anything, which prevents them from making the right decision in a lot of ways. So the answer to that, Marlo, yes. If you believe that MicroStrategy is going to outperform everything else, then you should absolutely put that into there. That's it. End of story. I mean, Captain Coleman, this is a good point, and this is from a while ago. I think this is when we were talking about the inheritance stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the strategy that a lot of people, I think, are going to take in Bitcoin. Just need to outlive the government's competence in keeping records. Like, no jokes.